Well, hello, everybody. This is Ken Smith from the Elite Resource Team. I'm one of the co-founders. And we're going to be talking today with Rene Castro, getting a little bit of information about him, his background, some of his experiences. And so we'll go ahead and kick things off. So welcome, Rene.
Oh, glad to be here, Ken. Thank you.
Yeah, good to have you. So maybe you can tell me a little bit about your background and give everybody a little bit of understanding where you've come from, what you've been through, and what you've experienced.
Super. Well, I've been an investment advisor, financial planner type now for about 15 years. Came over from the real estate mortgage industry, probably closer to 20 years. And like a lot of advisors, I first started off with seminar selling, public seminars to retirees and soon-to-be retirees, and did that for about 5 years or so. Mm-hmm. But then around 2007, 2008, during the economic downturn, I had my own personal economic downturn, and I could no longer afford to pay the 10 grand or so for a quality seminar model on a monthly basis. So I started to study the CPA type of relationship, professional relationship, and I got a lot of industry coaching, some commercial type of coaching, and shortly after that, I had my first enrolled tax agent relationship that flourished for many years until he retired, basically, here recently. Created well north of $1 million worth of revenue just from that type of relationship with that firm. And about 3 years ago, because I'm always looking to improve what I can bring to a CPA or an enrolled tax agent, and I was referred to Elite Resources Team about 3+ years ago, and I went to, I believe, their second event, and realized that both Ken and Anton, excuse my little dog in the background, were fully committed to the model of the CPA financial advisor. And not only were they going to give us the initial information and guidance, but they were going to truly be in the trenches as we developed this model together to bring more and more advanced tax planning skills, business owner type of planning, and they've kept that promise. Mm-hmm. So now 3+ years later, I'm doing more successful business owner type of planning than I ever have. Still do my retirement income planning when it's appropriate. But it's just an exciting way to do business. It tends to be very low cost, mm-hmm. because it's all introductory, joint casework together, and you get to use a lot of these advanced skills that we've all heard about for years. We actually get to use them on a pretty regular basis. So I'm very pleased with the model and the relationship with elite advisors.
That sounds real good. Well, tell me, Rene, how have you seen things? It sounds like you've kind of been on an evolutional curve. How have you seen things evolve over the years with Elite?
Well, for example, really staying abreast on the present tax planning environment and having resources and skill sets to address like the 199A, which is a wonderful opportunity for the business owner market this tax year, and just to continue evolution of higher and higher quality specialists to help the model.
Mm-hmm. So what made you decide originally to get involved with the Elite Resource Team? Well, let me just back up for just a second. You had been involved, had you not been involved with a couple other programs? And if you had, maybe talk to us a little bit about that, and ultimately how you did decide to move over into Elite Resource Team's model.
Yeah, I've been through several coaching scenarios. Some of them were free through industry scenario, and they had limited value. And then some of them were paid coaching. One in particular had a pretty high price tag on it. They were wanting $30,000 to have a coaching relationship with them. I went down to their boot camp, and they gave you an option after the boot camp. If you didn't want to continue with them, you could opt out and just owe them 10 grand instead of 30 grand. Well, it didn't take me long to see, having worked with CPAs myself for years, that they really didn't have the substance behind it to bring of much value to what I was hoping to accomplish. But when I came across the elite resource team, I could tell they were truly committed to the success of myself and any CPA or enrolled agent I would be working with. So, that's why I've been very loyal to get to as many trainings as Elite puts on, because they're ever improving, they're ever bringing more value to the table.
Good. That sounds great. Well, let me ask you this. You've been with the model for, like you said, 3+ years. What are some of the things maybe that you've learned from being in the team-based model for a while? What would you say some of those things are?
The ability to really take a unique message and process to a CPA or enrolled tax agent, where we show them how to increase, for example, their advanced tax planning fees and skill set substantially, where we can show them how to increase their revenues by 50, 100% or more, and have them work with higher and higher net worths and their most successful clients. It's just a wonderful way of creating daily activity.
Great. So, knowing what you know now, are there any things that you might have done differently, just coming into the model?
Probably quit messing around with public marketing. Every so often, because these FMOs and the industry makes it sound so wonderful to spend 10, 15 grand to get a room full of folks that like fancy dinners, and just totally committing to this process, because it's just so much more enjoyable, so much more professional, so much more efficient. At least for me, a typical public seminar, I'd pay 7, 8, 10 grand and hope to get 1 or 2 quality prospects to become clients. So that means I was meeting with 15 to 20 people, going through a process to hopefully earn their business. It's such a night and day difference. I'll give you an example of one of my favorite clients. He's worth about $5 million. Does a lot of planning with me, both advanced and basic. He was introduced to me through one of my enrolled agents, and the way the introduction went, because we were strategic partners, me and the enrolled agent. He came to him because he was getting like a $3 million severance check all in 1 year. And he was going to be paying north of 50% taxes here in California with the federal. And he asked this tax professional, is there any way I can reduce the tax mitigation on this lump sum? Mm-hmm. And he said, there's only one way I know of. You need to meet with Rene Castro. And with that kind of endorsement from his tax professional, who he had been working with for north of 10 years, the gentleman just went with the planning, no objections, the beauty of this model, you truly are leveraging the trust of the tax professional. Mm-hmm. So I'm able to show this gentleman advanced tax planning strategies, and trust, and other scenarios, and the level of trust is like I had been working with him for 5 years.
Yeah,
out the gate.
Pretty incredible, isn't it?
You can't get that kind of trust in a public seminar without multiple visits and them comparing you to the other seminar guy down the street. It's just a night and day difference.
Yeah. Well, tell me, Rene, some of the cases that you're currently working on and actually closed. What are some of the things that you've recently done with the model, and how would you compare that with your past?
Well, for example, my short-term or long-term memory is not nearly as good as it used to be. So I'll just discuss one that we're wrapping up right this moment. The tax professional, this last tax year, the tax professional set up a conference call with this gentleman to do what we call an advanced tax plan. And the tax professional charges a premium for this plan because we're bringing in a lot of resources, a lot of skill sets to help mitigate the taxes on this individual. So we open up the relationship with a planning fee, which is always nice because you're getting paid for your wisdom at that point. We were able to save him about $100,000 on his taxes last year, which definitely opens up his mind to look at other scenarios. He had about $2 million in qualified money, makes about $400,000 a year, and is only like 49 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So we started off with advanced tax plan, where we had a nice fee in that. We used some of the product solutions to give him the $100,000 tax break. It opened him up to look to have me manage his $1 million plus on his 401k that we can now do, and he's going to be a premium finance client, and we're doing about $300,000 of alternative investments.
And what is the target on that life case?
It's north of 40. It's a smaller case because of his age and what we're doing, but you add that along with the securities income, along with the AUM scenario. And more importantly, it's just a nice quality, mutually respected relationship.
Yeah.
So it's just a wonderful way of doing business.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, let me ask you this. Knowing some of the things that you know now, what are maybe some of the things that you might have done differently?
Truly understanding that these CPAs or enrolled agents really don't know many of these advanced tax planning strategies that we now know through Elite. And they really could use our services to bring more value to their clients. Most of these CPAs and enrolled tax agents you come across, they're stuck doing compliance work, just the tax returns themselves. They would much rather be doing more interesting, better paying planning with their clients, but they really don't have the bandwidth or time to learn all those skill sets. Fully understanding that and having that confidence with these tax professionals. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I wish I would have had it sooner, but it takes what it takes. And so that would be my only regret, not realizing fully the extent of what we bring to the table for a quality tax professional. That would be it.
That's pretty exciting. Let me ask you one final question. A lot of people are trying to decide whether or not maybe to get involved with the Elite Resource Team and actually pull the trigger. What would you say to someone that might be trying to decide whether or not they want to do this, or maybe kind of move in a different direction? What would you say to that person?
I would say definitely go forward with it, because the skill sets that you can bring to your own current clients, your most successful clients, mm-hmm. you'll more than recapture any startup costs to get involved with Elite. Just on one case, and it's not even a big case. If you're a seasoned professional, 3, 5, 10 years or more in financial services, you've already got a few of these advanced tax planning strategy clients right in your book of business.
Yeah.
That you could generate revenue real quick beyond what you're going to be doing with the CPAs and enrolled agents. So I would say take that perspective on it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing what you're actually able to uncover.
Correct. All day long.
Yeah. Yeah. So it sounds like this has been a pretty good experience for you, and one that you probably would do all over again. Yes, no,
I can't see doing business any other way.
Yeah.
And because of our evolution, me and my associate Rick Martinez, we're starting to have some pretty nice communications with a regional CPA firm. About an 8 CPA firm doing $4 million plus worth of revenue. They have a lot of high net worth clients. Again, we never would have been in a position to even have this dialogue with these folks if we didn't have the resource team behind us with a specialist and skill set and process. So we're just going to continue to get better and better.
Yeah, that brings a question. I said this was going to be my last question, but what you just said, process. Can you talk just a little bit about the system, the process, the model that you kind of feel like you might or might not have with Elite Resource Team?
Well, it's the same for CPAs as it is for any human being. What's in it for them? And the process is typically uncovering, do they want to make more revenue from their present clients, the most successful clients, be more valuable to to their successful client? Do they want to clone their successful clients? And typically, if they have that desire, then the team-based model resonates with them. The ever evolving business advisory services we now offer in relationship to our relationship with the lead advisors is wonderful, where we can show a business owner that's doing, say, 5-10 million worth of revenue, and he wants to do a 2x, 4x, 10x on it, by having a business advisory process on his business to show him how to lay out the roadmap to do that. I can't think of any other advisors that have that skill set as part of their quivers and their tools.
Yeah. So in other words, you feel like there's definitely a process, a system that you're able to follow to basically make these things happen.
Correct. Between the initial phone call script to the initial meeting script that you folks continue to improve, we have a track to run on.
Yeah, that's exciting. Well, Rene, I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to join us, and it's been good talking to you and getting your perspective on things. So I certainly appreciate it.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing some more professionals at your next event, and you have a wonderful weekend, Ken.
Thank you. You too, Rene.
All right. Take
Bye-bye.
care.